Hello, I'm Benny Westside, and today we're looking at a crash course for Mysterio. Last week we got the kit reveals for the Sinister Six members and the Superior Six members. It's going to be a bit of time until we uh, get to unlock the Superior members, but we have a lot of characters on our roster that we can start building in preparation. So we're going to go through Mysterio, his kit, his T4 upgrades, and ISOs, as well as gear and Dark Dimension viability. So let's start with this passive Grand Masquerade. This is a lot of scrolling here, so I'm gonna swipe over to the graphic so I can show it all in one view. This is Grand Masquerade. On spawn, apply 2 deflect to self and all Sinister 6 allies. On spawn, gain immunity. On spawn, summon 3 mirror images. And then in war, on spawn, gain +2 charges. On death, he's gonna summon 2 mirror images with 2 death proof. In war, he's gonna summon 3 instead. And then one of the mirror images is going to have their special ability that would be a turn 2 ability that revives Mysterio. If this character has 2 or more superior 6 allies, enemies cannot gain immunity. On mirror image death, gain stealth. Gain 20% focus per non-summoned Spider-Verse ally. So on the full team, he gets 80% focus. Spider-Verse allies gain 20% focus. Spider-Verse allies gain 20% max health. So that's a hefty passive. Let's look at the T4 upgrade. On spawn, it goes from summoning 2 mirror images to 3. This is good. In war, on death, summon an additional mirror image. This is also good. Spider-Verse allies gain 10% max health. This is probably the most value out of those. Not that the mirror images aren't great. I just think because he already summons 2, it goes from 2 to 3, both on death and on spawn. Um, the 10% max health is valuable though. I wouldn't say this is an essential one, but it's a high value one. If you recall the Famine Scourge, where we were like flirting with America Chavez or Miles, granted she gives 25% max health, but that max health ended up mattering a lot. So like having health is always a good thing. So this is an ability I would highly recommend upgrading with a T4. So turn one, he gets both his special and his ultimate. Let's look at the special first. It has more control, so it's usually what you're gonna end up using first. Master of Illusion. Apply blind for 1 turn and ability block for 2 turns to the primary target. Apply ability block to 1 random adjacent enemy. In war, if this character has 2 or more superior allies, apply blind to all enemies uh, instead of just the primary. And then in war, this attack gains 100,000% extra focus. Gain assist from a random Sinister 6 ally, gain assist from a random ally. Alright, let's look at the upgrade. Uh, he's gonna apply ability block to 1 random adjacent enemy, and then always gain assist from a random ally. The random ally goes from 80 to 100. That's okay. Applying ability block to random adjacent is very good, especially if you're targeting like somebody on the end. You know who it's gonna go to. Otherwise, it's random. It's still very good. Just an additional ability block is great. I would also say this is a very high value. I still don't think it's essential, but it's a very, very good upgrade. Now let's look at his ultimate. Uh, is this short enough? Let's go over. All right. Hello. All right. Smoke and mirrors. Attack all enemies for 350% damage. If this character has 2 or more superior 6 allies, flip all buffs on all enemies. This is big. Apply heal block for 2 turns and disrupted for 2 turns to all enemies. Summon a mirror image for each charge on this character, up to a maximum of 5. In war, again, he's gonna get 100,000% extra focus. Now let's look at what the upgrade does. Uh, he's gonna, it's gonna give him 60% damage, and then he gets the heal block and disrupted. Is the flip? No, the flip is on just level 2. Okay. Uh, so before the T4, it only applies to 2 random enemies. After the T4, it applies to all enemies. I think I would call this an essential one. Uh, heal block and disrupted uh, after flipping everything, that's great. And then if you pair that with the trauma from Green Goblin, that's beautiful. So, um, I would I would call this one an essential one. Now let's look at his basic, the 012. Clear 3 positive effects from the primary. Attack primary for 250% damage. In war, gain 2 evade, gain +1 charge. This attack cannot be blocked or dodged. Oh, yeah, obviously, let's look at the upgrade. He's gonna clear 3 positive effects instead of 2. Instead of, yeah, instead of 2. I think this is a very high upgrade. I'm gonna look at the summon. Uh, it doesn't matter for him. But the clearing 2 to 3 buffs is it's a nice upgrade on a basic, especially if you make him a striker, which we're gonna talk about in a minute. Um, yeah, so I would consider a high value upgrade. Probably not essential, but high value. Looking at his ISO class, his special is actually not a damaging ability, but because it hits everybody, the Raider ISO attack can still trigger. His ultimate is an AoE, his basic is a single target. Raider is a solid choice for him, but I think Striker is probably the better call. Because he gains evade and charge on his ISO attack, and then he's gonna clear buffs as well. So I think the choice for him is gonna be Striker. No, anyway, doesn't matter. Striker. Upgrade wise, he's very expensive. He takes 5 sets of tech minis, and he takes Black Cat's unique. If if you can afford him, I think he would be fantastic in Dark Dimension 6. But he's a tough ask. He's expensive. Um, that's why I'm gonna say upgrade him as far as you're able to afford. Um, he- this thing in his passive where he prevents immunity, I think this is gonna have value for a long time. Um, Especially going into teams that have immunity on spawn. But even beyond that, preventing immunity altogether is pretty massive, and I can't wait to see how we get to use that in the future. I think it's going to be a long-lasting character, so your upgrade isn't going to be in vain. I think he's going to see some Crucible gameplay. Even though he doesn't have that superior tag, I think he's gonna find use in Crucible. Um, probably in the mirror mostly, because he wants to prevent immunity on the enemies. In war, he's peak value. Like he's the core of the strong Sinister Six team in war. So if you're invested in war, you're invested in Mysterio. So I would say take him up as far as you're able to. All right, I think that does it. In short, his ultimate is an essential upgrade. His basic, special, and ultimate are all very high value upgrades that I would all recommend doing. His ISO class, I'm recommending Striker, and build him up as much as you're able to. Thank you for taking this crash course on Mysterio with me. I hope to see you in the next one.